Waking up, you wonder, what will I do today? What new adventures are out there? What exciting experiences await in the perfect world of The Sims? But then, you remember. It's 1300. Times are lean, and you're just a po' boy from a serf family. Okay, so here we are back with the Payne family. As we can see, Darius is taking out the trash right now. Good job. Dovilė is looking after the little animals. And we're back here today. And first things first, I have to apologize because I was calling this little baby, our first little baby, Grid last time because I was just so excited that we had a living child and that Selby had survived, but that actually isn't the right way to pronounce that name. That name is a Norwegian name and the D is actually silent, so it should be Gri instead of Grid, which is very embarrassing that I got that wrong, but from now on we'll be calling her Gri. As we know, Dovilė has her third trimester in soon, so she's in her second, and Selby snuck in there as well with a pretty secretive pregnancy last time, and she's in her first trimester. Look, she wants to have a child. How handy. So the family is currently just sort of plugging along. Vilkas is still away on his trip. He's still away. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Creepy crawlies is so intensive in The Sims, isn't it? I'm a little bit concerned that it's going to get to be too much, but we'll just have to see how things go. So, Vilkas is away. He's away getting supplies. He should be returning today, I think, late this evening. Oh, goodness, those ducks. Other than that, these guys are just going to work on getting their chores done. And I believe we have a birthday today. Oh no. So we have a birthday today for little baby Gri, who will be growing up. And other than that, we are just kind of taking it easy until, of course, Vilkas gets back. However, I did want to address the fact that when I was editing the video last, I was kind of horrified when I watched it because Harlan's actions and behavior were so terrible. Like, he was just kind of a terrible person. I hadn't noticed while I was recording, but when I was editing, I noticed that, for example, when Dovilė showed up right at the, you didn't have to do that while you were eating, honey, but when she showed up right at the tavern that his parents and family own, as soon as she talked to him, he basically was like, bye, and later dazed out of there. She then asked him on a date and talked to him about marriage, potentially, and he shot her down hard and mean. After that, they kissed, and he immediately, as soon as they had kissed, then asked her to do an unauthorized, well, I mean, it was authorized, I allowed it to happen, but he did his own autonomous woohoo, and then as soon as that happened, he literally had disappeared to go and make conversation with other people that were more at his social status. So he walked over and went to hang out with people that he thought were more at his social status and left her alone immediately after that, which was kind of super rude, and I hadn't noticed at the time, and I was really horrified to see that that happened as well. Then, even worse, when he came over after his sister-in-law was yelling at Dovilė, he came over and didn't stick up for her. And in addition, she told him he was pregnant, and she told him that she was pregnant, and he seemed to be happy about it. But then Darius asked him a question, which maybe we can assume that he was asking something like, oh, so do you think that this means that you're going to get married to my sister now? And he had a really angry, like, hand in the face response to that. So I'm thinking that Harlan's made his opinions about being with Dovilė pretty clear, even though he hasn't exactly said anything, you know? So, yeah, I was really horrified to see that. I was shocked. I didn't notice it at the time, but in editing, I thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe that this is, you know, the situation that's actually happening. So I think he's said enough about what his true feelings are, what his true intentions are. And I think we're going to have to let him go for now unless he ends up autonomously proposing. But I doubt that that'll happen because he's such, you know, he's just very interested in himself. He's a teenage boy. He's not much older than she is. And he, I don't know, is doing what he wants to do or something. I don't know what to say about it. So for now, we're just going to have everybody do their chores, help around the house, get everything going, and we will catch back up as soon as something interesting happens. All right, so Vilkas has just returned. He's standing outside looking mildly annoyed. And so now that he's home, we're going to go ahead and take the things that he bought while he was out, split them around, and then pick up from there. Okay, so there have been a few changes to the home. Oof. Why does he think it's filthy? I don't think it is filthy, buddy. There have been a few changes. So Vilkas is going to go back to sleeping out here now that Selby and Darius have had a little bean of their own. And Dovilė, similarly, is actually going to move out to the shed that's connected to our water wheel so that she can be, you know, uninterrupted by their baby and not wake them up when her baby wakes up, because I'm not, oh my goodness, speak of the baby waking people up, I'm not really sure, isn't it supposed to be baby's birthday right now? We might go ahead and age up Gree once we've just taken care of these needs of hers. And then send everyone to sleep for the evening once she's been made over into the beautiful little girl I'm sure she will be. You know, something that's really annoying about The Sims is how they reorder the things that you put down. Because it's like, if you would just... Vilkas, how long is it going to take you to deal with this? If they would just do it in the order that you tell them to, then things would go so much better. Good grief, bud. Yeah, you go to the bathroom. Man, he is having the best day. He's so happy. Wants to try for a baby. Well, you've got another one on the way, my dude. He might just go to sleep for now. Selby's gonna go to the restroom, and then she's going to, age up Gree. Baby Gree, baby Gree! And Gree is cautious, probably a good thing at this point in time. Let's give Gree some love. Gree, you can have a little bow. What a cutie. Got quite a square face. I think she's got Selby's face. Let's have this nice and comfortable looking woolen outfit. Too cute, but no, baby. I'm digging the straw hat. You can have that for your party wear. It's acceptable. There we go. Man, Selby just loves her daughter so much. Are you going to do the things that I asked you to do, though, Selby? Hmm? Why don't you do some tummy time? As for you, I don't know. You could make some more candles. That would be helpful. Thank you.
Tribs, Iba, Grovel Nurks Deri, Farb, Wisset Borb, Tip Tip, Schwabi Frong Panage.
Ah, where are you going? Oh, you're handing baby to her dad? That's an interesting interpretation of tummy time. Not a correct interpretation of tummy time, but a interpretation. Uh-oh. I see that someone doesn't like to be put down. Selby, work with me here, okay?
Yes.
It's pretty frustrating. Okay. Let's go ahead and give Gree a little feeding and then just put her to bed because she's being a little bit sassy. That's what we'll do. You can stop crying. Thanks. Sorry, put Gree to sleep. Darius is awoken first, so he's just gonna take care of his little baby girl. She looks pretty content. She's like, ah. Oh, nope. Spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. She didn't like it. Oh. Well, now she's happy. Now she's happy that she shared something with her dad. Sylvie's just about ready to also wake up, so she's going to, and then start cleaning some things up for us. Somebody's angry again. Now, Dovilė still wants to ask out Harlan, but I'm going to take that off because we've decided that he's a bad call and we don't want anything to do with him. I think she knows it deep down, but what can you do? Well, she looks pretty happy with it. Oh, nope, spoke too soon again. She's not so happy. Yay! I think she just did lift head. Oh, nope, maybe not. Go ahead and comfort her. These guys are just out here eating. Darius will go ahead and hand the baby to Mom in just a moment. Because baby needs to eat too. And then it seems like the farm doesn't actually need that much work today, so we might have Vilcus go ahead and harvest the prairie grass. We might have someone give them food. Hey, you were supposed to hand over the baby. Selby, I know that you want to keep eating apparently for 17 years, but I need you to take your baby. No. No. Okay, don't worry about it then. You, come over here. Nope, you're not going to sleep. You're too hungry. The most frustrating thing about infants in this game is that they want to do their own thing all the time, and the problem with that is that they then cause absolute chaos because you can give them something to do, something they're supposed to be doing so that you can take care of them, and they just, I don't know, go crazy basically. So when they act like that, that's what causes all of those routing problems, and that's why sometimes if you click over to the infant point of view, you can see if they have something queued up, like to look at somebody or to try and go to sleep when you're trying to feed them. And if you can see that, you can cancel it, and it'll help you to move through without, you know, getting stuck on staring at it and screaming at the infant because it's about to get taken away for not letting you, you know, do what you're supposed to be doing. See, she's about to throw a tantrum, and that's why we can't put her into her crib. There we go. Tell a bedtime story. Okay, you're out here doing your job. You're being wonderful. I admire you. You're the best. You're over here. After you've done that, please clean these things up. Please use the restroom. And then you're on candle making duty today because we need to start selling some things, making some money. And right now, that's just not happening. In fact, if we had not been able to man, Selby is always sick, I swear. If we had not been able to get that wishing well success, we would have 0 money. We would have 0 money in totals. Even though taking care of animals is traditionally the female's work, we're gonna have Vilcus help out because the field just doesn't need very much today. So the 2 ladies are pregnant, and so we're just gonna have the guys help out with all of this. Oh, Huxley is here, and he is angry. I couldn't help but notice. So, Huxley is over. He's stomping around. We might just go talk to him and apologize. I'm sure that we're apologizing for the fact that we have angered him with our actions, the things that we've done, the choices we've made when he was pretty interested in us, and how we've gone around and sort of like we've made some mistakes. That much is true. And so I'm wondering if there's any way that we can sort of salvage the situation, or if this is, too much, too little, too late, and how that's gonna go. So let's pop over there and see how things are going.
Sara! Hagen.
He seems to have accepted our apology, even though he's still pretty tense.
Quex. Narfabrosh. Dernioi!
We might have a deep conversation with him and just see, oh, she wanted to do something flirty. I don't know what it was, but...
Mishioba.
Siglona.
Numiv.
Oh.
Maybe she's gonna be like, hey, do you want to feel my little baby?
Lolaba?
Oh, yibs. Arabrat?
Karasha?
Oh, Odessa.
Your bunny.
Can we, like, discuss your tense mood or something? Like, can we help you out? Heartfelt compliment, maybe.
Spubani!
And then she's gonna have to go to the restroom pretty badly. So. Selby's out here cooking up a storm, doing what she does best. We're getting her to make some ingredients that we can then use. Yes. To make better things. He's out here cleaning. That's very thoughtful of you, since you know that your wife is very stressed out. You're a good husband. Baby's still sleeping. Everything's going so well. For now. Well, let's see how this little conversation goes. Oh, wow, what a reaction.
Kimba Darfy. Inja. Jambi. Gasha
Oh, she's telling a funny story about commitment.
Robble Nurksduri.
How it's like a prison.
A farb.
And how when you're pregnant you have to go to the bathroom all the time. Wow, what a story, girlfriend.
Oh, Ulak. Yemful Apolachaba.
So he's moved closer to be closer. She wants to tell him an inside joke. Oh.
Drobisveric?
Yes.
Chul.
Nibui. Yibe of Penuza,
Well, they seem like they're getting along pretty okay, so we'll just leave them to it, I guess. Sure, Darius, you can love fitness. Good for you, bud. Make more candles. Press some honey. Okay, and Dovilė is officially in labor. Selby is currently... Actually, go to the bathroom. Selby is currently taking care of Gree, but once Gree has been taken care of, we're just gonna, unfortunately, put her down there and make sure that we're with Dovilė when she gives birth, because if not, actually, you don't have to put her on the ground. I guess you can bring her over if you really want to. because we don't want her to have the same risk
Our grip?
that we had when she gave birth, which is the extra number. Oh my goodness, this place is falling to pieces. They're both starving. Gree's on an adventure. She's loving it. Okay, come on, Selby, come on. Hysterical, lovely. Luckily, you're pregnant, so you're indestructible. Be here with us. Be here with us. All these ladies together. Come on, Dovilė, you can do it. I think that means that it's time to name baby. A girl. Aw, Dovilė. She had a baby girl. What would she name baby? Let's go ahead, jump over. I'll look for a name and we'll get the roll of Destiny up. Okay, we've gone with Leanne Payne. She, similarly to Darius, is going to drop her original ancestral last name and just go with her anglicized name. She is really trying to fit in. I think that, maybe that played into why she let what happened between her and Harlan happen, is she just really wanted to fit in, and she thought maybe that was the way to do it. Who knows? But for now, Leanne is her little baby girl. Aw, here she is. What a sweetie. So Dovilė is going to just sort of take care of her little baby. And while we're doing that, we're going to have to go ahead and do the rolls of Destiny. Okay, so it was just the one baby. Just the one baby. And so Dovilė just has to avoid a 1 or 11. Not so bad. So let's see how she goes. 7. She's in the clear. Thank goodness. I had a really bad feeling. I've been putting off recording this because I was so worried about her. But it looks like she's going to be just fine. Her baby, Leanne, on the other hand, needs to avoid a 1, a 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, or 20. So quite a lot of rolls. And let's see how baby does. A 9. So baby is A-okay as well. Okay, so Leanne doesn't have to worry until we get to toddler. Congrats, you two. I'm sure you're going to be very happy. Where did you put your daughter? Oh, you handed her to him. That's fine. It's a nice day outside. I'll accept it. Do some tummy time. You are starving, so I'm not sure why you want to look at the birds, but that's your business. And go ahead and do some little cooking. Okay, family size. Now, some of you might be a little bit worried about poor Dovilė, thinking, oh, it's really bad that she's had a baby out of wedlock. And I mean, it's not great, but because they're serfs and peasants, the lower classes actually, there were some benefits to being an unwed mother. So one of those is that this illustrates that she's capable of having children, which of course is really important at this time. And so this will actually make her more desirable in a way, because people will know that she is able to produce children. And in addition to that, she also, when Leanne is older, will be able to bring Leanne with her as another member to work in the family. So this is going to work to her benefit in terms of looking for a husband although it still won't be Harlan because his family is more middle class, and so they're a lot more wary, I guess, of what? Silly. They're a lot more wary about being seen as, you know, not raising themselves up. So they won't want to look as if they are, you know, lowering themselves and not reaching that next level of improvement in terms of
Chabadoo!
how they are seen societally. So
Boo!
they especially wouldn't want to take her now that she's an unwed mother, even if it is with their own lineage. So, you know, what can you do? Okay, so that's the excitement for tonight. I'll just get their needs up, send them all to bed, and Selby. And catch you all in the morning once everything's sorted out and we're ready to begin again. Okay, here we are back, day 3 of 1302, I believe. And we are here while everyone's just getting their chores going. Baby's woken up in a bad mood, baby Gree, but that's okay. Darius has quite the job to do on the farm today, on the fields. They're not looking great. I don't see any bugs yet, so we might be lucky. But oh, this is from that new update. My game just updated literally this morning. I'm pretty sure I know how to play The Sims, but thank you. That's very generous of you. I've been playing The Sims since The Sims 1. So it's very... Oh, golly. Selby. Well, I guess you do have to go to the restroom. Yeah, I don't know. If you've done the discovery quests, like, reach out and let me know, like, how did it go for you? Did you like them? What did you think? But, I don't think I'm gonna spend, especially not during Ultimate Decades, time working on those. It did throw me off, though. I was like, what is this? Alright, so everyone's doing their work. Okay, fair enough. It's currently May Day in game, so we might need to make a trip out to celebrate back at the town square. Maybe. We might need to do that. For now, though, what we might do is go ahead and make some food for everyone, because everyone's pretty hungry. Okay, that's enough, Vilcus. You've got work to do, and we won't be able to leave until you've done it, so. Out here working hard, old Vilcus. Vilcus, who's somehow once again grown facial hair. I guess he is, like, how old would he be? He would be, let's think. He was 12 when this started. So he's probably 14 now. I guess that's a little bit better. A little bit better in terms of, you know, his facial hair situation. He just gets so much of it. He just gets so dang much. There's always a lot of work to do around here. Let's go. Did you not successfully milk old cow? Guess not. Trash nectar. Yum. Okay, Selby, go ahead and put Gree down again. You've got to eat something. It's sweet because they love the infants so much, but it would also be nice if they would occasionally listen to what you say. So you see how now Gree's sobbing her little eyes out? I bet that's because she's tired. Yeah. Yeah. Don't put her down, Selby. Don't do it. You know you don't want to. Huh, weird. I could have sworn it was May Day. It's only May Day for some of you? What? You know, I bet that's a patch break. Let me know if any of you have seen that, because right now, currently, Dovilė and Vilkas both don't have the holiday. Selby does have the holiday. Do not check that infant. Don't do it, Selby. Selby, I had so much faith in you. Oh, okay. Kiss goodnight. That's okay. Tell a bedtime story. And Darius has the holiday. And in fact, the baby has the holiday. Gree has the holiday. But I guess Vilkas and Dovilė are not allowed to become enemies with Briar. Dovilė has a lot of complicated feelings towards the Brewer family. I'll say that for her. Okay, I'm sorry. We just literally like stopped and this popped up saying Harlan is asking if we want to go over to his house and hang out. I'm gonna say no because we've had such a complicated situation and I'm hoping we'll see him at the May Day festival. In fact, we might just go ahead and invite him. But I don't know what that guy's on about. He's so crazy. I don't think he wants to be a bad guy. I think that's probably the source of the issue, is that he doesn't want to be a bad guy, but he also isn't like exactly willing to do the right thing, is he? Okay, so now we'll check in once they've finished all of their stuff and we're ready to go to May Day. Okay, so here we are at May Day Festival. Oh, hey. It's our good pal Huxley. He is like one of your family's like really good pals.
Oh, Ronich, Nilsi, Action Saboon, Watsanoka.
Oh, Dagmar.
Filpo, Wampo, Greyhow, Topic. Oh.
So Dagmar is married to Huxley's older brother. And so they live in the same family. Trader Jacques is just hanging out here. Briar's over here talking to, oh, Camden Brewer. I think that's her child, who's playing with the Mackie Witch. And then over here is Sawyer. Sawyer is always here trying to escape his family life. Kind of fits his backstory. But Dagmar is his wife. Okay, so over here we have the Earl of the area, and we can see that he's talking to Dovilė. So we could see that he pulled out his little book just then, and what we might assume is that he was talking to her about the fact that, first of all, she's okay. Interesting. About the fact that, first of all, she's elected to... What is happening with this camera angle? That she's elected to go ahead and have a relation. Oh my goodness, what? Is anybody else's camera angles all messed up now too?
Infolliness?
So anyways, he's talking to her about the fact that she's made choices that have led to real world consequences, aka a baby, and the fact that she is now getting on in years. She, I think, is 19, and it was really common for people to get married at least by their 20s if they were in the lower classes. While arranged marriages weren't terribly common for lower class people, they were actually sometimes encouraged. And so the Earl might have just told her that he would really prefer if she would go ahead and get married, and that he has arranged that she can marry Sindri Evanson to deal with some land disputes that's going on between their families. Now the problem with this, of course, is that Sindri is the one who she has constantly wanted. Oh yes, Sindri is the one that she's constantly wanted to become disliked by, and so that's not really what her goal for herself is. However, he is saying that should she choose to marry Sindri, like he's arranged for her, that it will only cost them 100 simoleons as the marriage tax. Now, at this time in history, part of the reason why it was so stinky to be a serf is that, one, the lord owned everything that the serfs owned, technically, so they didn't technically own anything, even things that they bought for themselves or the houses that they built. But also, one is that when you have an illegitimate child, you have to pay a tax. So we're going to say that the illegitimate child tax is going to be 100 simoleons. Another tax that you would have to pay to the landowner is a tax to get married. So I'm saying that that's kind of like the dowry system, in terms of like if the Earl wants to arrange the marriage for them and they go with that, then it's only going to be 100 simoleons, because that's the tax to the Earl for getting married, but they don't then have to deal with having the dowry because it's kind of been set for them. We're going to have to pay $100. Actually, let's do that now. 100 simoleons, because I'll forget if we don't do that. What's math? Okay, so 100 simoleons per illegitimate child. There's a really interesting tax from this time. It's called merchet, I think is how it's pronounced. And this is a tax where you have to pay, the father would have to pay taxes to marry off his daughters or to permit them to remain single. So should a daughter wish to remain single, the father would still have to pay taxes in order to, we'll get back to the taxes thing in a second. For now, Selby is in labor, she's enraged, and I am a little concerned.
Dariola. Yaug.
Come on, Selby. This is a really long labor. Oh, there we go. Yay, it's a boy! A male heir. Okay, I'm gonna look up some names and I will be right back. Okay, so we've gone ahead and gone with the name Aidwulf. Which means, what did it mean? Sorry. Which means wealth and fortune. That's going to be Darius's hope for his little baby boy, assuming that this boy, of course, survives. Wow. Okay, but sprinting into the wilderness is not useful. Okay, so maybe Dad can come take care of little baby while we get the death rolls ready. I'm gonna roll for our good chum Selby first. So first it'll be Selby.
Snurse.
Okay,
Joy
so we're about to roll
snurse.
right now. Okay, so this is Selby's second baby. She just has to avoid rolling a 1 or an 11. So let's see what her destiny is. And Selby is A-okay. And then we're gonna roll for the, oh my gosh. They look so happy with a baby. Our little guy, Aidwolf, has to avoid rolling a 1, a 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, or 20. So risky roll, but let's see how he goes. Oh my goodness, I can't believe the luck. You know, I put off recording this episode for a super long time because I was so paranoid. I was so paranoid that someone or both of the women, I was really worried that both of the women were going to end up moving on without us. But luckily that isn't the case. So both of them survive. We are having really good luck, and we will I'm gonna do some spreadsheet stuff, and then we will catch back up with the family. Okay, so while these guys finish up and they get back to sleep, we'll go back to the taxes thing. Now that it's, hopefully it'll be a little bit less distracting while they're sleeping. So to be clear, according to the research I've done, these are the things that apply in terms of taxes that we have to think about right now. So we know that there's the illegitimate child tax, which we're going to say is 100 per illegitimate children, and we've already paid that. There's also the tax for a father to marry off his daughters, which is called merchet, or if he wanted to keep his daughters single and unmarried, there's also a tax for that. So that's a tax to be able to marry or keep your child from marrying. In addition, at the time, you would obviously have to pay the church for a wedding, and so it wasn't technically required that you have a public wedding because two people could be married at any point in time if they just said the words, "I take you as my husband," or "I take you as my wife." So if you just said those two words, then you were automatically married. However, if you didn't have a public marriage, you could be fined or punished. So it wasn't required, but it was required in a way. It's a little bit confusing. In addition, another weird thing about marriage at the time is that men have to ask, if you're a serf, you have to ask the permission of the father of the husband, but you also have to ask the lord or the landowner if you are permitted to choose that person to marry into your family. And this is because marriage served a couple of different purposes at the time. Obviously, there were marriages for political power, which were at the higher spheres of society, which of course is not us. But marriage also served the purpose of, sort of solving land disputes. It solved the issue of, like, if two families didn't get along in a community, that would sort of bridge the gap between them. It would also serve the purpose of providing children, and of course they needed more of a workforce in order to be able to handle the land that they were assigned to. So that was a benefit. And also the church at the time believed that the purpose of marriage was to create more children. That was the belief of the church. So marriage was really important in a lot of different ways. And so that's something that is sort of expected of people at the time, that they will get married. Of course, not everyone did, but that they will get married and that they will end up, producing children to go on and work for the same place that they are. Another thing that's really interesting is at the time, the lords could choose where the serf would live and who he would marry. So if the serfs are not moving fast enough, the lord could come and say, hey, you're going to marry this person because you aren't getting a move on. This wasn't really very common because it worked out better for the community and for everyone involved, everyone to be happier if the families were happy with the match, if the people getting married were happy with the match. But it was possible for the lord or the landowner to say, hey, this is who you're going to get married to. So we're going to assume that the earl said, hey, I've set up this match with the Evanson family to sort of like bridge the gap between your two families and sort of smooth over some differences in the community. Okay, we're going to say that he suggested that. And if she were to do that, then it would only cost 100 simoleons because they just have to pay the taxes to the earl and then the cost for the wedding, which we'll get into when the wedding happens. But she said, well, I really don't want to marry Sindri because my goal in life is actually to become his mortal enemy, apparently, according to the last couple of episodes. And so she suggests perhaps could she instead seek out Huxley, who she's had this on again, off again relationship with, and see if he might be interested in marrying her. And the earl says, okay, if you can do that, that's fine. Of course, then you will have a different, you'll have to pay the dowry because the Plowman family will have to agree with it, blah, 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 blah. A-okay, that's totally fine. However, in that case, then your brother, Vilcus, who is as yet unmarried, will need to marry into the Evanson family, which I'm not sure how he's going to feel about that, so we'll see when it comes up. So at some point today, we're going to need to have a talk with our family and tell them everything that's going on. Dovile's come in, and she's talking to her brothers about what the Earl brought up and about the fact that she's going to have to either marry Sindri Evanson, who she has quite a bad relationship with already, next year, or she's going to have to try and get Huxley to marry her, in which case Vilcus himself is going to be the one who will have to then marry into the Evanson family. And we can see her brothers are being pretty receptive to this news. Vilcus is a really good brother. He's really close with his sister as well. And I imagine that he's sort of thinking, I don't want her marrying into that family and being there all alone. So he's thinking probably that it's his responsibility as her brother to look out for her. Darius looks a heck of a lot more serious, but let's see what's going on with these two. Oh, yeah, I think that's it. I think Vilcus just said to his sister, hey, I've got you. Don't worry, I won't make you marry that horrible brat, Sindri. And we'll go talk to Huxley and see if we can get that sorted. However, will that end up working out? Who knows? That's impossible to say, you know? Will he go for it, or will she end up marrying into the Evanson family after all? It's a good question. I'm gonna actually leave the final decision for, I think, I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to make any promises. If you have a strong preference about which sim she should marry, Harlan, I guess, is technically still in the running, although it would cost
Berry.
5,000 to marry, you know, the next social class up. And we definitely don't have $5,000 at this current point in time.
Floy Masharnu? Ah, yo-yo.
It would cost 500 just to marry Huxley, which we do have, just for the dowry, let alone for the tax for getting married and the wedding cost. But it's a little bit more affordable, and it'll only cost 100 to marry Sindri. So the question is, who will she end up with?
Ooh.
If you have strong feelings, go ahead and put them in the comments, and I look forward to seeing those and getting to know what everyone else's perspective is. 2, 4, 6, 7. There's space for one more. Space for one more little kid.
Panadayola.
So we might go and, if the babies would stop crying, we might go and, of course, it's you. Do a quick little woohoo. Like I mentioned, we're gonna have to make a decision about Dovilė for the next year. She's going to be 20 next year. Yeah, so she's gonna be 20, which means that her young adult birthday is coming up. And young adult birthday is a little bit of a risky role, I think, from my memory. So we're gonna have to go and, golly, we're gonna have to make a decision also, because we're going to want to, we're going to want to just make sure that, no. Okay, that's fine. If you want to go to dad, that's fine. So we're gonna have to make a decision about who it is she's going to end up with. We're also going to need to do that sooner rather than later, purely because, what? Come on. Purely because we've got so many Sims in the family and we need some of them moving out. So that's kind of where we are. Dovilė is coming up for her, oh nice. Vilkas, you look like someone who needs a job, and I'm gonna give you one. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna see who will she be getting married to next year. That's question number 1. Question number 2, where will they live? In the end, question number 3, how much is it gonna cost? Because I have a feeling that it's, why did you never finish this? That it's not going to be the cheapest thing in the whole world any way that we go. And last question, will they find happiness, you know? Will they be able to find happiness? I don't know. Oh, congrats, Gree! Gree rolled over to her back. Use your diaper. And then your dad can change your diaper. So we're gonna go over here, we're gonna take care of Leanne, and then we're gonna age her up into an infant just to get it over with. Then we're gonna leave this part here. If you have any strong feelings about which person Dovilė should be married, please leave them in the comments. The choices again, once again, are Harlan, somehow, a miracle. It would take an absolute miracle and we'd have to earn a lot more money. Huxley, who we have some convincing probably to do since he's probably not that impressed with us at this exact moment in time. Or Sindri, who's been arranged for us, but will not cost as much money. I'll show you the little makeover, and then we'll leave this episode there. Cautious as well. Oh gosh. Okay, so here is little Leanne after her makeover. You can see she's as happy as a clam for now. Yep, there we go. Changed already. Poor little baby. It's hard. But leave your comments in the comments area below. And if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe so that you can get more. And I look forward to finding out with all of you who exactly Dovilė and Leanne end up with for the rest of their lives. See you all in the next one. Bye bye.